By show of hands, how many of you in this room today are first-generation college students? Can anyone tell me what a first-generation college student is?
Many parents don't have a bachelor's degree.
Some parents who don't have a bachelor's degree, but in EOP, we are first-generation, low-income, undocumented, and underrepresented students, right? I'll start off particularly with the undocumented student program. We just launched in January 2012, and what we do is provide comprehensive support services that meet the holistic needs of our undocumented students. Just this past year, we got a $1 million grant from the Haas Junior Foundation to be able to provide scholarship support services to undocumented students. So a lot of times when you apply to college, there's a series of things that you need to be mindful of and that you go through, right? From the application process to if the application asks you, what do I put if I don't have a social security number, to am I eligible for a fee waiver? So we help to answer some of those questions. And then once you get admitted to college, there's this process that you go through, right? The first is if you get admitted to UC Berkeley, you're what? You're really excited, like, dang, I just got to UC Berkeley. I got to go because I love the campus, right? And then what's the next question that you have?
What do I do now?
What do I do now? Or how much does it cost, right? And so what we do is after you get into UC Berkeley, we outreach to have a conversation with you, to have a conversation about the cost of attending UC Berkeley. A lot of times in the past, what folks were thinking was, I can't afford to go to UC Berkeley because my annual family income is $24,000 and my month-to-month income is not guaranteed. And what we do is say, hey, if you got to UC Berkeley, we're going to financially support you through the Dream Scholarship, through some of the support services that we have here on campus, right? The next question is, what am I going to do? Who do I talk to on campus, right? And that's when we have a conversation like, okay, here's how you submit your AB 540 affidavit. Here's how you submit your California Dream Act. Is it safe for me to come to UC Berkeley, right? A lot of times there's a fear when you submit your application that you're outing yourself, you're outing your status. And we have a conversation to turn that fear into a conversation of trust, right? And when you get here to campus, you have an academic counselor who works with you one-on-one to create a tailored roadmap for you. And then you have some additional services like the Dream Lending Library. And what that is a book lending library that provides students access to books that may be cost prohibitive, right? And the second thing we have is legal support. Why is legal support important? Does anyone know what DACA is, Deferred Action?
Yes.
Can anyone tell me what it is?
It's a work permit for 2 years for undocumented students, and we're also able to obtain driver's license, and it prevents us from being deported for 2 years.
Exactly. You should come work for the undocumented student program. So a part of our legal support services that we have here within EOP and undocumented student program is when all of our students come in, we match them up with a trained legal attorney for free to talk about what their legal options are, whether it's DACA, a U visa, T visa, or a pathway to permanent residency. There's a cost that comes with deferred action, right? It's $495. But if you come here to UC Berkeley, we not only, come on in, Ruben, we not only provide you with the free legal support services, we help sponsor your application fee.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
How does that sound to y'all?
Really
Very good.
Right? And then where you're at right now, this is the Dreamers Resource Center, right? A lot of times coming to college, especially a college like UC Berkeley, you feel like, dang, maybe I'm the only one. Who can I talk to about some of the challenges that I'm facing right now? The Dreamers Resource Center, it's a home, right? It's a home for us. So just like what y'all doing right now, it's a home. We sit close to each other. We have like honest and open conversations. So this is a space where you create a sense of family, a sense of home, and a sense of belonging. And then we also have emergency housing grants. So a lot of times when you come to college, you think that, hey, I should live in dorms, but maybe the dorm is not an option for me because it's so expensive, right? We have partnerships with apartment complexes around campus, so you have access to affordable housing. We also have emergency grants that provides access to emergency expenses you may have. Let's say you guys walk out here and one of you trips over a squirrel and you break your wrist, right? And you need to go to the tank center to get a cast for your wrist, right? We have emergency grants that provide you for up to $500 for that. We have an emergency housing grant, which provides up to $500 for emergency room and board expenses. So that's a little bit about the undocumented student program. Any questions about that? Yeah.
For those $500 grants you're talking about, you gotta pay them back.
What do y'all think?
No.
So the question was, with the $500 emergency grants, do you have to pay it back to university?
Yes.
And y'all said no. You don't have to pay it back. It's your money. It's your money. So that's what we do here at UC Berkeley. For us, it's not only about the academic experience you have, but it's about the one-on-one experience you have with the counselor and staff members around here at campus.
And as far as like wanting to work here in the campus, are we allowed to?
Absolutely.
As an undocumented?
Absolutely.
Great
Wow.
question.
Absolutely.
And yes, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the conversation we have when you come here. We not only talk about your academics, but we also talk about other opportunities you want to engage in, whether it's working, whether it's interning, right, whether it's gaining research experience.
So we could also intern.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to, no.
Yeah. If you don't like us, that's okay. That's okay. So once you get intern and you get paid for your internship too, right? So for some of us, we may want to be educators. For others of us, we may want to be doctors, lawyers. So we connect you with our campus network of folks who are working in those respective fields.
So, for example, as far as like law, how many, like as far as us being able to intern with any law firms, are you guys pretty good about that, like putting us in places?
That's a part of our legal support services.
Yeah. I think, look, if we're like, this is like a family space, so just to be like completely honest with y'all, California right now is in the best place possible. Why? Because we have the California Dream Act, right?
Right.
And now we have AB 130 and AB 131 still that allows for private and institution-specific and statewide support for undocumented people. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me right now?
Yeah.
So what does that do? Now we're having like masses of students, right, saying like, I'm going to college. Like nothing's keeping me back. Before we had a little bit of undocumented students really going consistently to college. Now we hope to make it super big. But in part of making them have access to college, we're working on making sure that they're going to have access to the full college experience. So when we say, can you intern? Hell yeah, you can intern. Can we get hired? Hell yeah, you can get hired. We need you to get hired because that's the only way we're going to change the system in and of itself. And some folks right now don't know that they can or cannot. So the only way that they're going to find out is if we go into those spaces and we make ourselves part of that space. Does that make sense to you all?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of folks right now are saying, no, we don't, because they never have. And that's really what they're saying. Instead of saying no, we're teaching them to say, we haven't yet. Come be our first. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we're passionate to working with community organizations, university organizations, and saying, look, here's going to be the first undocumented person that's going to be a published author in your program. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just about doing undocumented work, but you can do work in any field. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want you in the sciences. We want you in technology. We want you in English. We want you in theory. We want you in theater, performance, everywhere. We need folks everywhere. Why? Because our communities need more professionals, right? We need better development so we can go back and support our families, support our communities, support everybody that's around us, and really be motivators for the next generation. Because now that we're opening that door, they got to build the whole building, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you going to say?
I have a question. In order to work, we have to have under the deferred action, or someone that does not qualify for the deferred action can still be hired in campus.
It's both. And so ideally, it would be deferred action if that's the process that you're eligible for. If you're not eligible for deferred action, we have a way to work with campus partners to be able to employ and provide you with internship opportunities and still get paid for the work that you are doing.
Wow, that's nice.
Is that through the ITIN number? Or is it
It's a
just
part of it's through the I-10 number, and the other part is through financial aid.
Yeah.
And so it's different for every individual. But if there's an opportunity out there that you seek and that you want to gain more experience in, it's our goal to match you up with that opportunity, to make that opportunity a reality. Right? Because just like many of you raised your hands a little bit earlier in terms of being first generation, what does that mean for you and your family? It means you're trailblazers, right? You're creating a path that hasn't been created before. So every step you take and every path you walk, you're laying the foundation brick by brick, right? And sometimes you may come across people say, you know what, I've never heard of that. I don't know what undocumented is. I don't know what deferred action is. And guess what that's the opportunity for? It's an opportunity to build understanding. It's an opportunity to educate that person about what being undocumented is. So when someone else goes through that door, you already had that conversation with them. Now they can participate in that research program, right?
Do y'all like food?
Yes.
I love food, right? And I love to cook. So in order to make like a little bit like this in a different way, so right now it's like we have a new dish that we all want to learn how to do it, right? Have you ever tried cooking a dish that your mom makes and it just doesn't come out the same? You're like, damn, man. It's just a torta. I want it to taste like my mom's torta, but it's not gonna happen. Or even cereal. I feel like my mom's cereal tastes like drastically better. Does that make sense? Or like parent or abuelita or like guardian, whatever as you have Lola, Tito, whatever. Yeah, man, it's family. I'm working on my Tagalog. You know what I'm saying? And then he's teaching me. Anyways, so what are we saying here? The more folks that we have trying this dish, the better the dish becomes. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just has to put in a little bit of everything. You know, like in my house, we might have vegetables, but in his house, they have rice. So we would have to partner up to make like a bomb-like
We
meal.
got a lot of rice in my house.
Yeah.
Y'all come have some.
Does this make sense to y'all?
Yes.
So each and every one of you has something to contribute to what's going on right now. That's why we need you to come to these places. We need you to be in the community colleges. We need you to be in the K through 12s. We need you to come to UC Berkeley and any other UC or a private. We could care less where you go because it's all one big family. You know what I'm saying? And right now when you're going to your community college, you're about to go undergrad, then you're going to go graduate school. And that's going to be another bridge that we're building. And by the end of the day, we're going to have bridges everywhere, from documented and documented. First generation, low income, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Now, what's the percentage of undocumented people that are already in campus and before?
Yeah. You said,
Before and
what's
after?
the percentage of what?
Of people, of undocumented people that before the deferred action
Mhm.
were able to graduate, and then after the
Yeah.
deferred action
Yeah.
were able to graduate.
So that data is going on right now.
Okay.
Because you know how
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It's-
you
it
have
barely
to.
came out.
Yeah, you have to do temporal data, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about, how many do we have in the 80s? We don't know because it wasn't safe to out yourself and introduce yourself as an undocumented person. In the 90s, it became a little bit more politically able, right? 2000s, a little bit more. And now, this is where we're really going to be able to get data. You know what I'm saying? Before, it was always word of mouth. Now we can have a safe, anonymous ability to start bringing in this data and to compare those. But right now, the main message that you all need to help us put out there is that support exists and there's a family waiting for you here. You know what I'm saying? When we say here, we mean the entire UC. Because we work really closely with UCLA, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, and all that good stuff. And as you see peer advisors here at Berkeley, you're going to see them throughout. And I want y'all to meet them because their life stories are incredibly beautiful. Like, they're my motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they inspire me. So I'm going to pass out the mic to them so they can introduce themselves to you and have a good conversation and you keep learning. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Just-
Perfect.
I want to say bye to everybody, and thank you so much for taking the time to come here and have this conversation with us. Two important things I